The Commanda General Store Museum was built in 1885 by James and Elizabeth Arthurs. It has a long history of serving the community and a long list of ghost stories. Those tales caught the attention of a paranormal research team from Oshawa.
The Commanda Museum was recommended to them to come and check us out. They're called the Paranormal Seekers, and they're out of Oshawa. And they drove from Oshawa this afternoon to walk through the museum. And right now we're still meeting with them and talking about what it really means to do a paranormal investigation. It's really kind of cool.
Rachel founded the Paranormal Seekers in 2004.
So growing up, I was at my grandparents' house all the time. They used to babysit me when my parents worked. Their house was haunted. Did I have an experience? No. Or I did, and I don't remember. But so it's just always, I've been surrounded with it all my life. Once I hit probably 12, 13, I got really interested in like all the ghost books. So like scary stories to tell in the dark. And then I realized those were too boring because they were fake. So I started going to like ghosts and, you know, all these books about like true ghost stories, and it's just kind of grown from there. And then boom, and then I have a love for history, so that kind of, you know, matches. So
now there is some folklore about a spirit named Amelia haunting the building. One theory is that the Commanda Museum may unwittingly be housing some haunted artifacts.
So they tell me this is how it works. There's ghosts in buildings and spirits come with artifacts, and the artifacts change over and they get hidden away for years. And so it's interesting. I myself have never experienced anything, but I certainly have heard enough anecdotal evidence that I can't deny it. So when the paranormal people contacted us, I thought it was a really cool opportunity.
My name's Allison.
Just say boo.
Boo.
And while Deb may not have had a paranormal experience, volunteer Mike Nelson says he felt like he was being watched while working in the museum after hours.
I was renovating that area in there. I had to redo the ceiling and mess around, and there was always somebody trying to help, or was there.
What was
Because I was here at night and by myself mostly, but it was kind of weird.
Was it just
weird?
Kind of weird.
Did you just feel something, or did you see anything?
Oh, I didn't see anything. You just can feel. You could feel that there's somebody here.
After completing their initial walkabout, Rachel and team members Allison and Kathy say they sense the spirit of a woman and a little boy.
This is a legitimate little boy that does belong. This is nothing like bad. But I didn't connect with him until I actually heard 3 creaks, and the energy, I know it's young. Don't forget that museums and historical places are like a safe space or a beacon of light for the spirit world.
Are they? Okay.
Because there's a respect for keeping history alive and allowing a safe space for that.
The Paranormal Seekers say they depend on research, psychic ability, and technology to determine if a location is haunted, and they definitely came prepared with plenty of technology.
So we've got your typical video cameras and your audio recorders. We've got a REM pod, which stands for Radiating Electromagnetic Pod.
All you have to do is this. Get close enough. It just lets us know that you're here.
We got a paranormal music box, which plays really creepy doll music. So it just runs on a sensor, so if something crosses the sensor, it plays.
This is playing on its own.
We have a ghost box, which will run through the radio frequencies at a really high rate of speed, so we can hear voices of men, women, children, young, old.
Mr. Arthurs, are you here with us?
Oh my God, that sounded like, yes.
Sounded like a woman though.
Yeah.
Mrs. Arthurs.
Are you here too?
What's that say?
3 of them, or 3 adults.
We have the SLS camera, which stands for Structured Light Sensor. So basically it runs off an Xbox Connect, and it is calibrated to pick up human form.
Okay, now I can scan for dead people and living.
We have a dead bell, which is literally an old hotel bell that also, again, works off of electromagnetic frequency. So if something is near it, it'll ding.
And as we were chatting in the gift shop, the dead bell gave us a little demonstration.
The one checks it after the battery's dead.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? The tink?
I heard that.
Okay.
I did hear that.
It was the bell.
And what creeped me out a little was the fact that the dead bell rang repeatedly while I was alone in the main room of the museum. But not all of the spirit voices that came through the ghost box were friendly.
Okay, so if the Arthurs are not in here with us, can you please tell us who's in here with us?
That sounded wicked.
Outside. Who's outside?
Dave.
When we moved to the parlor, the investigators began using the Estes method to try to contact spirits.
I'm ready.
With the Estes method, the person is isolated by a blindfold and tries to decipher messages coming through the white noise they are listening to. The ghost named Dave that they had made contact with earlier seemed to have followed them.
Dave.
Hi, Dave.
I'm gonna speak.
We're listening.
Listen to hear me out.
Another message from the first room seemed to continue.
I want to know who's the uncle. Is it Johnny or John?
What did that say?
Something about I lost a son. I thought I
lost my
heard.
son.
I lost my son.
I just put some
Baby.
fancy lights on the table.
Lost him.
You lost your baby?
Here.
Very sorry to hear that.
It was
I got a
bad.
doctor.
Dad watched.
And she said, I need
Part of
help.
this.
Doctor.
Then, what may be messages from the Arthurs family, who built the original general store.
General. It was a general store. Was that your store? Thank you for that. That's incredible. You still think it as your store? Or are you happy with the
Bell.
store?
And speaking of the bell, one spirit that came through was a little sassy.
Bend over. Who farted? You
What?
are
Yes?
dumb.
Then a spirit, maybe James Arthurs himself, gave the volunteers some business advice.
Are we open tomorrow?
No.
Are you guys open tomorrow? No, they're not. Tomorrow's a quiet day.
You're missing out.
But again, there were moments when the spirits weren't so friendly.
Leave my home.
Oh.
Were you old or young?
You.
Okay.
You just got told.
The
We wrapped up soon after that, and weeks later, when I was reviewing the footage, something struck me about the messages that had come through. What seemed random at the time may not have been random at all.
I love how you
Video.
Here.
Yes, we are taking a video.
News.
I'm a videographer who runs a news website. Then,
Paul.
Paul was actually said twice, but I did not get it on video the second time. My brother's name is Paul, and my sister's name is Pauline. Then there's the name David or Dave coming through repeatedly.
Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Dave. It's the same voice with Dave. Ding.
David, you have a
Dave.
My late father's name was David, Dave for short, and that made the next message very poignant to me.
We drove all the way here to hear
Dad.
your story. Dad?
Is here.
And who is Dad? What is Dad's name?
David.
Holy sh**.
David really keeps coming through.
David, do you have a message you would like to share?
Do you have a daughter here?
David.
Hi, David. Is there a story? Is there a comment? Is there
He
someone?
sells it. Loving.
Very loving.
That was the second time that word had come through.
Let us know you're here. Loving.
So, do I believe that my dad was trying to make contact with me? I think to definitively say yes or no is erroneous because no one knows for sure. Anything is possible.
We're opening up the world of possibilities, but like we always say, when you pass away and the people that you love are still here, they share your stories, but then eventually those people will start passing away. And if your stories aren't shared and aren't passed down through generations, they eventually disappear. And we say that is a second death. You disappear completely. So we are trying to prevent that. So that is what we're doing. And we hope that those skeptics out there look at us and say, okay, well, you know what? Maybe there is something else out there.